Yo guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle and welcome to another training stream. And actually today I had a huge lunch and I'm really not in the mood to train or play. But I actually thought this would be good practice to actually try and play some chess, play a classical game, and try and be able to perform even when I'm not in the mood and just play well, because ultimately when you play a tournament, you're probably going to go through kind of fluctuations in your mood and your uh, kind of motivation to play. So I want to see if I can still play a really good game, despite not feeling as like pumped as I was yesterday, or as eager to play as I was on day one. But yeah, I think we can still play an interesting game. We've actually gained a bunch of subscribers since yesterday, so almost at the 41 minute mark. So I'll need to make a new thumbnail. And also, it is 78 days until the publication of my chessable course, so we will keep track of that as well. So let's play a 30-minute game. Um, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off chat. I will join you guys after the game, and let's play this player. Okay, he's played 2 classical games, 1 draw, 1 loss. Okay, this is good. And we'll see if he plays. He might get a bit spooked by my, by my ratings. Okay, he decided to play. Let's go. So I'm gonna play my actual repertoire against Reti. I haven't really had too much experience of it yet, so this will be good. Okay. He transposes into a Benoni. Well, a d4 opening. You know what? And I have looked at this. We are now transposing into a London, and I've actually looked at this because I realized that yeah, I'm gonna have to be playing c5 anyway. And what did I come to the conclusion of? I was gonna play d5. I was going to transpose into mainline London if he plays with bishop f4. I wonder what I'll do if he plays bishop g5. I haven't got some preparation there yet. But I want to try out this mainline London and see how it goes, because obviously I've studied the London with the white pieces. There we go. So my plan is, rather than play with knight c6, is to play queen b6 immediately. And the reason why I do this is I want to save the tempo. It's not so much that knight c6 is a bad move. I'm going to play it anyway. But and he plays queen c2, not queen b3. So not allowing this. So in this position, I feel like I still want to go g6 and play for bishop f5. Is there any other downside of this move? I could also play knight c6 and threaten to take here, but probably knight c6 and he plays e3. And wait, what were the reasons here? So this is where the London trap is actually working, right? I can play knight c6, and on e3 I can play bishop f5. Yeah, and I can't play bishop f5 yet because he can take and give mate. So I think I need to play knight c6 here. Let's try it. Let's try it. This is like the most principled move. And we'll see if he plays e3. And if he plays e3, then this I think is slightly... Is this where I can get away with bishop f5? I wonder. Because normally this would be inserted, right? So I'd have the pawn on c4. So if he plays e3 here, my question is, can I play bishop f5? Bishop f5, if he takes... Oh, to be fair, he can also block with the bishop, but then probably I'm quite happy to have traded off this light squared bishop. Bishop f5 is spicy. The problem might be if bishop f5, he could take on c5. That's a bit annoying. This is why I hate playing these main lines. There's so much extra I need to learn. Taking on c5 feels really annoying. Maybe I can take here first. Maybe I can take on d4 first. But the problem with taking on d4 is he hasn't yet committed the knight to d2, so then he could develop knight c3. So hold on, if I take and I play bishop f5 here, is this any good? takes, I can take on b2. I'm kind of curious. I'm really not happy with my position though. I mean, I can also play with ideas of knight h5. Let's take on d4. Let's see what he does. Yeah, this is going to be very useful to study afterwards. Takes this way. So the reason why I'm happy with this is because it's kind of like this Caro-Kann structure now. And I want to play with the minority attack. I'm a bit annoyed that my queen is in front of the minority of pawns. I'm thinking maybe bishop f5? But does it work? If he takes my bishop, I take on b2. That looks to be winning to me. My knight already protecting d5, it looks really strong. Not missing something, am I? I think let's try it, you know? I think let's try it. Go on, let's do it. Let's do it. Risk it. Risk it for a biscuit. So this is that classic London trap. Whenever white hasn't had time to play knight d2, then this kind of theme of bishop f5 is on the cards. Aha, and he chickens out. That's good. Now we don't really want to take on b3 because then white gets the clump of pawns, which is generally pretty good. I'm not sure how I feel about letting him take though, because then I'll get these isolated pawns. But he also doesn't have a quick knight c3, knight b5. He might have knight a3. But if I play e6, then I think that'll be less of an issue. Probably e6 is just fine. I reckon I have a slight advantage here. Yeah. I think I've got a slight edge in this position. If he takes, I have to open a file. I think I'm doing well. Okay, so he finally develops knight d2. I'd love to trade off this bishop, to be honest. Okay, let's just play bishop e7 for now. Maybe later we will try and trade off that bishop. Oh, if I wanted to trade off, then maybe I could have just played knight h5. Maybe now, though, that I've at least put the bishop on e7, that means I can play this, and he can't necessarily just play here. I think trading off his bishop will be good. And if he plays the move h3, then I might be able to predict that he might be stream sniping. There's always a chance. So let's see what he does. Okay, so the question is, can I get away with knight h5 here? Can go back to e3, but then I can play bishop d6, and then I take that file. The question is, can he move his knight with some discovered attack? Maybe. So maybe I want to save my bishop? Let's play h6 first. Let's maybe secure this. Playing h3 as well. Maybe I could have finessed that, play knight h5 and then play h6. But no, then he's already got knight h4, so I don't know. It's really about just trying to get the best pieces on our best squares in this kind of game. Probably castling is... Maybe we should get our bishop away first. Let's get our bishop away first. The reason why is I'm a little bit afraid of g4 if I were to castle so soon. Just in case. Although I reckon it would be more weakening for him than it is for me. But I don't know if I want that kind of game. Okay, so he castles actually, which gives me the choice now if I actually want to just go all in for an attack. The question is how quickly can he open the center? Probably fairly quickly. Don't think I can keep it closed. Although I guess I could always take back with a knight or something. Maybe it's harder for him to open up the center. Whew, I don't know. This is a big call. This is a big call. Nah, I've got the better pawn structure. I should just play for the minority attack, I reckon. Yeah, I think I should just castle. Let's keep it chill. Okay, okay. We can have a look at this g5 a bit later, though. I'll make a note of it. So this is move 12. So I'm interested in trading pieces. I also want to get this bishop off this diagonal. Maybe rook c8 first is a useful move. Or rook d8, maybe that's even better. No, but then there's a tactic. He takes on b6, plays bishop c7. Let's play rook c8. I feel like this makes a lot of sense. So very importantly, I've got control of this weak diagonal, which means any attack towards my king is going to be less powerful. But definitely his opening was a bit dodgy, and I look forward to analysing and working out what I should have done. We're probably a little bit behind on the clock in terms of our speed. Now, big call again. Do we take or not? I feel like we should. Yeah, I'm quite happy with whichever way he captures, actually. And he chooses the bishop, okay. I'm thinking actually playing knight e8. So we can try and challenge that bishop. Okay, I think knight e8 is the way to go. Knight e4 feels a bit too exposed. Let's try knight e8. Let's try knight e8. So yeah, if anyone's joining the stream, you're welcome to chat about the moves and about the game. I mean, I'm not looking at chat. And if there are multiple of you watching, you can discuss between yourselves what you think might be good. Okay, so we have to take back here. No choice. Okay, so he's trying to clamp down on this side of the board. I wonder if we still want to trade bishops in these kind of positions. Or we can just play knight d6 immediately, maybe. To be honest, I think I want to keep the knight. I think I want to play bishop d6 instead. I think I'm playing an alright game so far. Don't think I've made any serious mistakes. It's just a big question whether this structure on the queen side is going to be more of an asset or more of a weakness. Don't think it's clear right now what the answer to that question is. But I definitely want to activate my knight, get rid of this annoying bishop. Okay, and let's see from here. I think I've got some ideas. I'm really glad actually that we've traded off the dark squared bishop as well as the queen, because like this pawn is feeling a lot safer, I think. Right. So my question is whether bishop c2 is going to be a useful move. I reckon he might play bishop d1. But then I could always drop back to bishop d3, you know? I may have won that diagonal, which might be quite useful. I think it's kind of useful move to throw in, unless I've got something better I can play immediately, which needs to be played. Which I don't see right now. The only other move would be like maybe improving my king, but I don't necessarily think that's like so essential I play immediately. Let's try this bishop c2. I think it looks interesting. Basically just attacking this pawn. And I feel like bishop d1 might be needed, but then I can play bishop b5. Sorry, bishop d3, and then maybe try some b5 ideas. I've just got to be a bit careful I don't like give this knight new squares, right? So, but even though I've got like the structural weakness on the queen side, I actually think his queen side is a bit more vulnerable than mine. Like, I feel like pawn structure always needs to be looked in the lens relative to the pieces on the board. And if there's no way that white can exploit these pawns, then and I can exploit his pawns, I think this is better for me. Okay, he does play it. So this was my idea, just to drop back and see. I think let's play it. Okay, so we've got 20 minutes to go. Oh my god, that was completely unnecessary. Thank you, Adblock, for giving me that heart attack. I might actually delete the ad block after that pop-up. Like, actually a joke. Companies should not be allowed to do that. Okay, so actually we do have this b5 move. Potentially, they can't take because the rook is hanging, right? But white can hit our bishop. But we can still play b5. b5 is not dependent on the bishop. So the question is if b5 and knight b3 is going to be the problem. I think we can get away with it. b5 looks really good to me. Is it good enough though? Is it good enough? I really want to go for it. I think let's try it. Let's try it. Maybe I've missed something, but I think it looks good. I mean, this is kind of minority attack, right? Like either we'll do something here or we'll push. We basically want to weaken this structure. And we've achieved our main strategic goal, which is to avoid any attack on our king. So we should just have like the slightly better chances to make this work. Just got to be careful we don't let anything slip. Bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. We are on the grind to 2500 classical and becoming top 5 on Lichess. This is the goal. This is the goal. So potentially we can push b4. Can they push c4 in response? Takes, takes, takes. No, they can't push c4. So they are threatening to take though, so we do need to do something about it. If we were to take and play b5, they can always go back to b3. I don't know what we've achieved there. I don't know if I want to be a bit faster with this plan. If we do this and they play like rook c1 or something. Oh, this looks really good though. This looks really good. The question is, do I want to trade this b pawn off as well? Maybe I do. Maybe takes first and then play for this. And then play for b4. Maybe that's an even better version. That might be a better version. Yeah, this is absolutely key. This will make the difference between a draw and a win, I reckon, this decision. Take, b5. Do I want to keep the pawns or not? No, because I think he's going to have an active b file. Unless my pawn can actually keep his pieces out, right? So I were to push b4 and he plays rook c1 and I take. Well, actually, I've got control of this. But I might want to play bishop c4. It's a really tough decision. b4 now or take on a4 first? I feel like taking is better. Let's do it. Can't be spending all day long on this decision. And now b5 is the point. This is the point, and we're going to weaken white's queenside even more. I mean, it'd be absolutely amazing if he could just blunder. That would be nice. But I don't think so. So I think bishop b3, and then what? b4. I think b4 is the play. I guess to be fair, he can even take the pawn on b4. But that pawn is definitely not surviving. I think it should be safe enough to push b4. Go on, let's push it. Let's push it. If he takes, I don't think he can hang on to all of these pawns. I think they'll drop. I reckon he probably will take. Like, he has to try something. And the question will just be then, how do I round up these pawns? Yeah, so he tries it. I don't believe it. I could try knight f5 to stop king e3 and rook e3 for that matter, and then try and take. That looks like a really nice play. Yeah, that looks lovely. That looks lovely. The only alternative would be if I want to hit this pawn first and then play this, but that could allow some ideas. But yeah, the pawn is still weak. Tough one. Do I want to allow the trade of rooks? Does it matter if he gets the c file, right? Like if he takes and gets the c file and I take, I don't know, he goes back. Oh, I've got to be careful when I take. I need to make sure I'm not blundering a piece, which is why hitting that piece is probably a good idea. Then I'd need to maneuver my pieces again. But the rook's not so active here, to be honest. So maybe let him take me. Yeah, I think knight f5 is really tricky. Unless I'm missing some tactic, which I'm not. If you remember from the game I lost, the reason why I lost was because my king was weak, and I blundered checkmate in 2 unbelievably. Like, for instance, if my pawn was on f6, then you never know, there might be some like some bullshit tactics, right? But there are no bullshit tactics in this position. And this is very important. I feel like maybe this last move, instead of knight f5, I could have played a better move to finesse this plan, but we're 5 minutes lower on the clock. We do need to speed up a little. Okay, so I think we can get away with this. I mean, if they take, and we take and then they play this, I guess we've always got knight c2. So I reckon this should be fine. I reckon we can get away with it. I don't think I'm missing a tactic here. But yeah, minority attack is so goated. Like, even with my weak doubled B pawns, I was still able to create these weaknesses and just have an easy game. The question is, will I be able to convert this position? That's the hard bit for me, at least. Okay, so we're actually only equal. I need to keep tabs of the material. Pawn structure-wise, definitely better. Okay, I'm glad that he's burning some time here. Okay, so let's say, I don't know, he spends a move moving his bishop just to be safe. How do we... Okay, that would lose a rook. So what can he actually do? I mean, do I even want the bishop here? Like, my intuition would say yes. Yeah, the bishop has to be better, so I feel like he needs to move it. But maybe he can't. Wow, maybe this position's really tough. So what, if he throws in a check first, I take back, and then he plays bishop d1. I still feel like I'm doing better there. I reckon he thought that he had some king e3 stuff, but definitely not. This is why you need to play positions that you understand. Like, I've studied so much in this minority attack that, yeah, I feel quite comfortable with the resulting positions. And it sounds impressive, but honestly, the minority attack is so easy to learn. Like, as long as you I don't know. Look at the right resources. He's going for it? Ain't no way. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. If I take on C1 first... Wait. What's the best way to finesse this? This is definitely no problem, for the record. There's absolutely no problem with this. I mean, I can literally just take this bishop. I'm just wondering if I've got anything more. I think taking the bishop is probably just cleanest. Just seems really simple. Take. I mean, knight c2 is no, knight c2 is just garbage. Nah, just take the bishop, Michael. Take the bishop. Not worth spending too much time. It's a 30-0 game, no added time. Gotta be practical here. Gotta stay focused. Like, this is actually the thing. Once you've got a small advantage like this, it's so easy to relax. Like, I've got to switch on even more. Like, I've got to convert this position. I've got to try even harder. Maximum focus. Definitely when I'm down on the clock. Trying to calculate some lines. I really need to make a call on where my bishop belongs. Let's say they take my knight, like which diagonal do I want it? Do I want to be coming back to b5 or do I want to be coming back to g6? Maybe g6 looks really nice actually because we cover the base of my pawn chain. Okay, I have to take back, literally no choice. Okay, and he's gone for this instead. So I considered this. For a second I thought maybe my knight is trapped or something, but obviously I can take here and get this endgame. Maybe this is actually not so easy for me to convert, but hold on a sec. I can take and then play rook c4. He pushes, I play rook here. I'm going to go a pawn up. This should be good. I don't think anything else should be considered here. Let's just play it. Okay, so the question is, can I convert this position? There's definitely nothing better than this move. If I played rook b8, then he can defend. So I think this is important. And now I have to convert this like an absolute beast. Got 12 minutes to convert this position. Not gonna be easy. So what is my plan? I've got a protected pass pawn. Taking seems like the obvious move. Let's do it. And probably cover my second rank. I don't see a more active move than that, so let's just make sure we're defending f7. And now I need to activate my king as quickly as possible. Man, playing chess to Zelda music is really a vibe. And I also should decide, like, do I need to correct this pawn structure? Do I need to be playing h5 and g6? me to say. I feel like it's not worth the tempi, given my king needs to activate. Now another question is this faster, right? Bring the king up this way, as opposed to bringing up the king this way. And I guess it really comes down to whether this b pawn is going to be a huge threat or not. Probably I want my king to be around here to support these pawns, as well as stop this pawn, in case it gets a bit hairy. As opposed to like trying to like gobble these pawns. I feel like that's going to be less of a good plan. But this is what I mean about 2 result games. Like these kind of openings, like that's so strong. I mean, of course I could lose this as well. And it won't be the first time I've lost such a position. But at least objectively speaking, this is definitely a 2 result game. Okay, so he starts pushing the pawn. I think let's just go king f8. Let's not waste any time. Let's just go for it. My only question is whether I want to throw in this move, actually. Don't know if putting him onto b3 makes a difference. Let's play king e7 first. When in doubt, activate the king. I would love to activate my rook. Just don't know how. I also need to make this call whether I want to actually make use of his strength or keep it as some kind of like latent threat. And I think I will need to make use of it. I think I will. But I'm really glad that my king at least got to e7, because if it was on f8 here... Oh damn, okay. Let's try this, because if he blocks, I feel like that has to be winning for me. I feel like this is definitely a useful move. So king b3, then I push d4, he can't even get behind. This looks really good. This looks very promising, actually. Maybe rook a5 is a blunder, actually. I don't know what the rook is doing here. Maybe his plan is to try and block on c5, but that has to be losing. I mean, with pawn endgames, you should try to like make intuitive decisions as little as possible and try and calculate everything. But come on, I'm a pawn up. My pawn structure is like the healthiest pawn structure I've ever seen. No way can I be like worse there. I think he's in trouble. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So if king b3 and I push d4, let's say he goes rook a1, d3. Yeah, I want to be a bit careful. But definitely I think pushing to start with is not a bad idea. Let's say he pushes here and I push and he pushes. I could also come here. That's a cute move. Oh, that's such a cute move. Okay, let's just start pushing. I think this has to be right. I know that I've got 11 minutes. Maybe I should be thinking more. Maybe actually I definitely should be thinking more. Like to play so quickly here is a bit careless maybe. But at the same time, I don't feel like there's a good way for me to deal with this b5 push. Like I kind of need to go for this counterplay. If he goes b5, I push d3, he goes b6, I go rook c1. Can't push b7. And if he plays king b2, the point is I've got d2. I think this looks really legit. Oh, I think this looks really legit. And I think the point is if he plays like a move like rook a1, I think I can just play e5. And I think e5, f5, e4 looks really strong. I can also make use of my king as well. I shouldn't forget about that. But I really like how my king is actually just covering the square, making sure there's no... Like, look at how all these squares are covered. Feels really nice. So he goes for it. What? So the guy just resigned? You know what I think it is actually? Um, I think so. I read a forum post about this. I can't remember where it was, but if the opponent tries to cheat and use Stockfish while playing, like he opens another tab or something and is using Stockfish, like with Lichess, then the website just recognizes it and just like forces resignation. Like I'm not gonna like accuse him of doing that. I'm just saying that this is definitely a possibility. But yeah, let's go. I don't think b5. I mean, okay, my plan was to play d3, and on b6 play rook c1. This was my line. And I saw some ideas of rook a7. I just didn't think it would be like great. Mouse slip resignation? Yeah, right? Could have. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. But I'm gonna check chat. Look at chat. I need attention from Jan. Welcome, Jan. Is it Jan or is it Jan? How do I pronounce your name? Grudge match against Ramesh. I noticed it, right? This guy is a surname. Well, has Ramesh in his name. Yeah. If b4. Okay, let's analyze this game. Let's learn. But this was great. What a game. What a game. Was b5 top engine move? It was. I mean, there's a chance it could have been that like Lichess resignation when the guy like just switches on Stockfish because he's so tilted. Uh, it's possible. I don't know. I don't know. But d3 was my plan, and if b6. Oh wow, I can push d2. That's really ballsy. Yeah, I guess the point is like queen of check. I didn't even pick up on that. This was my plan. Ah, and he has to move rook a2. That's really clever. And then I guess like we trade into this endgame, and this would be a draw. So then I have to be more clever than this. What? I'm playing d2 here is not a draw? What? Let's say he just moves. Like, why is this -2? Does anyone understand that? Why is this equal and this is -2? Yo, rook endgames make no sense. What? So in this version, the king, I guess, is not cut off. I mean, in this position, maybe the point is we can cut off the king. Because for whatever reason, yeah, this allows the trade into the endgame. And if white were to like move his rook somewhere, but it looks like he's getting across. Oh, and we can trade this way as well. We can force the trade. So that means the king is not allowed to join the pawns. And then with the king cut off. Oh, that's so clever. That's so clever. I didn't even consider this. I mean, I would hope that I would have slowed down enough to recognize that actually here I can just push the pawn. I don't know if I would have seen it. So let me check out what chat has been saying the whole game, and we can analyze together. Pretty unlikely they cheated since they got a problem. No, that's why I'm saying I don't think he cheated the whole game. Not at all. I just mean on this final move. I remember like reading about different like Lichess like cheating prevention measures, and they have this one where like if you cheat, like if you open a new tab and you turn on Stockfish and then you go back to your game, then it can flag up as cheating and then you lose the game. So this is like they may have just turned on Stockfish for this one move. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know for sure, of course. I'm just speculating. But okay. If b4 takes, then knight b5, perfect outpost. What was this? Oh, okay. I also really want to understand the opening, guys. So, someone asked in chat from Path, what's your FIDE? My FIDE is 1960, I think, right now. My peak was 2002, and I'm hoping to get back to 2000 soon. But, okay, you can never rush these things. There are many, many tricky opponents. So, basically, I had this plan on queen b6. I have some preparation against queen b3. And I'm not going to reveal it, actually, because I want to keep it a secret. We'll probably play a game at some point where it gets involved. But on queen c2, I didn't know what to do here. So knight c6 felt like the reasonable move to me. Yeah, and I guess taking on c5 is a bit annoying, you know? It's real annoying. I don't know if I want this structure, although we still get the 2 versus 3. We get this minority style position. But this pawn is just not on the d file, it's on the e file. Not sure how I feel about this. Like, I can see how black is probably better in the sense that, like, probably they can try and prepare this e5 push in some way. Looks like this top line, it looks like black is getting e5 in, right? Like, through some tactics. Yeah. I mean, maybe then after queen c2, what if I were to just take? I mean, he can always take with a knight, but this definitely looks a bit more dodgy. I don't really believe in this as much. But if he takes with the pawn, maybe I don't have a clear advantage here. And this kind of looks a bit more like an exchange Slav. Because white hasn't committed with knight d2 yet, so maybe it's too early. Ah, this queen c2 is quite annoying, actually. I can also play with g6 here. Maybe this makes sense as well. To try and play for bishop f5, right? I don't know. Knight c6 also made sense. Here, knight h5 apparently is the best way to go. Fair enough, that makes sense to try and win that bishop. I took on d4, and if c takes, bishop f5 would indeed be working. Okay, that's good to know. And yeah, this kind of position where I can take and double their pawns like this, and I'm very quick to play like some knight b4 type stuff. Although apparently not here. What happens if I play knight b4? Am I getting wrecked by bishop b5? I probably am. Oh, I don't see it. What, bishop b5, knight d7? What's so bad? Ah, it gets castled in time and I don't have a way to capitalize. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, actually I know about the engine thing since I turned on the lead chess analysis when I was doing a test match versus my own chessbot, but it says cheat detected instead of white resigned. Ah, interesting. And you said see my link? I think you can't send links on YouTube chat. I think that's why I can't see your link, Jan. But yeah, I can believe it. But damn, cheat detected? That's a really bold statement from Lichess. I feel like even Lichess doesn't go as far to, you know, claim that someone is cheating. Like that's really surprising to me, because yeah, like they can get in all sorts of trouble if, you know, they accuse someone of cheating and they're not cheating. Like it's such a mess. Yeah. So the bishop f5 tactics work. Did it work here? Bishop f5. It does. It does. So oh, they can actually take. This is kind of wild. What, I'm playing queen d3? And if I take, am I losing here? The hell is this? Okay, this is the kind of chess I don't want. Queen b5, are you serious? And I have to castle queenside here? This scares the living daylights out of me. And I'm playing queen b3, and I guess maybe some idea like this, but I don't. Is this the plan? Because I'm literally worse here if I don't play accurately. If I play like e6, I'm literally worse. Yeah, no, I can't play this. I can't play this kind of chess. I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, my problem with it is that, you know, if I play like a strong opponent, which obviously I will do when I keep getting stronger, if they know this stuff and they've prepared this stuff, I ain't learning this because it's too much to learn, you know? Like I'm gonna get this hardly ever. I mean, unless I'm really willing to put in the effort here. Maybe if I have an alternative after queen c2 to avoid this stuff, but man. And let me just see it in this line. Yeah, I don't know. Because, okay, I'll reveal the line. So basically, I like the fact that I can play g6 here. I really like this variation of this London, where I establish my bishop on f5 and white has to play queen c1. I think this is a really, really cool line. And then, only then do I play knight c6. I think this is really legit. This queen c2 is surprisingly annoying. Knight c6 feels so right. And I can't get away with bishop f5 now because of taking on c5. Yeah, this is really annoying. I don't know. I'm gonna have to have a think about this in on another day, I think. But in any case, at least I managed to get a decent enough position for this game. Yeah, and I wanted to have a look around this moment, like whether g5 was a move. And yeah, g5 is a move. G5 is very definitely a move. But, oh, with castles. So, I guess not with this g4 plan. And yeah, it definitely felt like this is a little bit too much. Like, maybe Jobava could win this game with black, but probably not me. Yeah. Okay, so it's good that I didn't go for this. Yeah, and I didn't... Why is it saying rook f d8? Am I missing something here? Is this not a winning tactic? And we're just going to say we don't care? Oh, wow. Knight d7, are you serious? Oh, this is so nice. Wow, this is so nice. Okay, this is a good motif to learn. And this is why they say always calculate one move deeper. Like, what actually happens? Can they take this pawn? That's a really nice one. So then rook f d8 makes much more sense to try and play for bishop d6 immediately. Maybe, or knight e8. I think the rook belongs better on d8 than c8. So this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if he took with the pawn, I was wondering where to put my knight. I think knight d7 was my square of choice. Yeah, this looks good. So I think I played this alright, and then we got this, you know, this pawn structure. Yeah, and he allows my bishop to come into c2, and this is where we could do this little shuffle. And b5 was the right moment, and take on a4 is right. Let's go. Let's go. So, I mean, I was considering this b4 push. Oh, and he can just take on b4? Huh. For some reason, when I was calculating this, I didn't even see this move. It's actually embarrassing. I didn't even see that he can take the pawn. I mean, I think my concern was this. And I was just worried that he might be able to get counterplay. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate whoever that was. But yeah, I think like these kind of positions, I was a little bit scared that white might be able to eventually put a rook on the square. And I noticed that my bishop was covering the square, but I thought I might want to put it on c4. This was my kind of feeling. But yeah, taking on a4 just to get rid of the fact that my b pawn might be weak, and then play for this. Ah, b5 is premature here. I should just start with rook b8. It did cross my mind. Why didn't I play it? What was the reason? Did I think that my bishop was like running out of squares? Because I don't think so. Maybe I did, you know. Maybe I thought that like the point is if I were to move back somewhere. I mean, I might have to be forced to, right? Because if they go here, I was thinking I was a bit scared of this kind of stuff. But b4 is already very fast. I think any b3 can be met by taking on c3. Yeah, this is also working. Yeah. So rook b8. Yeah, prepare this b4. Don't rush with b4. Yeah, this is kind of what I've learnt in the past. Wow, okay. Both of us making lots of inaccuracies here. Huh. And this is actually takes on a8, g4, and king e3. And this is just closer to equal. Don't know if I understand. Like, what is the difference between that and what was played in the game? Oh, nothing. Right, so taking on d4 basically loses the advantage here. I should just take... Ah, this is the thing, right? There's no need to complicate matters with knight takes d4. He still can't defend it. So I could just drop my bishop back first and then take it more cleanly. Avoid the trade. But why do I want to avoid the trade? Was it actually so bad to allow these trades? Oh, this was a mistake. So he was supposed to play like this. And this is closer to a draw. I didn't really get it. I didn't really get why. I guess... Ah, this was the problem, right? Because I don't have time to play rook b8 because he's already playing b3. So I was gonna just drop my bishop back to g6. And is this position so bad? Ah, you can defend it like this? What, rook b6? Wow, okay, manages to just hold everything. That's pretty cool. But still, I feel like black has to be better here, which I guess is what the engine is saying, right? Like, if we can prevent the king from activating, which of course would be very important, otherwise the king gets really strong, then black has a slight edge. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, my opponent messed up here, entered into this rook endgame where I'm a pawn up, and then yeah, we get this whole, yeah, this was where basically I need to see d2, which I'm not sure if I would have, but you could see like recently I was like a few moves ago I was already having this feeling that okay, am I rushing this? Am I playing d4 a bit too quickly? Calm down, make the right move. So I think in this moment I would have been able to think like, okay, at this moment, let's consider our candidates. Let's not just rush into it. Let's not just play rook c1 immediately. I hope, but who knows? Who knows? But okay, on the whole, a nice game. I think like this opening with queen b6, it does require some more work. Like after this queen c2, I need to think more carefully how to play this. This is annoying. This is annoying, this queen c2. Knight c6 is what's played the most. So hold on a sec. After queen b3, I'm playing c4 and then playing the immediate g6. So what if... Yeah, can I get away with g6? If they play e3, I play bishop f5. This is so interesting. So if they can take the c5, why aren't they taking it now? Like after queen b6? Can we not do this because I take on b2? I see, I see. And this is better for me. Okay, so maybe then by that logic after queen c2 then this would be the nicer way to play. But then you can play with knight c3. Ah, this is really annoying. Queen c2. Very annoying move. Knight c6 also makes sense. Yeah, maybe I should learn this one, right? If they take on c5, this will already be a bit rare, and also I feel like we still get our 2 versus 3. What, and if they play e3 here, and now we play for this g6 idea again, and try and establish this bishop, but if they play bishop d3, oh, and we're just apparently better here. This is surprising to me as well. Okay, I can play knight h5. Yeah. Yeah, and try and play for e5, okay. I don't know if this is my style though, to try and play for e5 like this. Like, I'm a little bit scared to enter these kind of lines where basically, white, oh, this is just winning. Okay, so basically, white needs to be careful. But I don't know if this is something I want even. I don't know if I want this. I feel like I don't. I feel like I don't. Which means maybe this line isn't for me. It's kind of annoying though because I've literally prepared against this. This is something I saw. I mean, I can play in my kind of reverse Reti-like ways, but then we had this really annoying bishop c4, queen b3 stuff to deal with as well. Not to mention if they play like the absolute critical moves, which I've covered in my chessable course, which is yet to come out, but when it does come up, I've covered like the way that the London can just beat this Reti setup, so I feel like this might be the way. I also need to know what to do against bishop g5 as well. Yeah, this is gonna require more study. This is really annoying. I thought I'd kind of like done and dusted it, but I didn't realize queen c2 was such a decent move. Maybe knight c6 is just a way. I mean, how many players are going to really take on c5? And maybe I can learn a little bit more of that. And if they play e3, miss bishop f5. Oh, but again, this was like... Oh, this one was where d takes c5 makes a lot of sense. And cd4. But this is actually some theory. This is crazy. Yeah, and the fact that you can actually take on f5, I don't like this. I do not like this. I'm not playing this. I'm not playing this stuff. But yeah, good to know. Good to know. It was me. What do you mean, Jan? It was me. Is this like some meme? Knight 29, knight c1. Aha. Oh, I missed a move. I didn't even consider knight c1. What is the point? Oh, to get to the rook to the 7th. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And the point is we can even threaten to come behind, but oh nah, this is not my chess. I'm not playing. Oh wait, we're hitting the knight as well. One sec. And if they defend it, yeah, screw this chess, man. I'm not playing in this style. It's not happening. Yeah, no. No. I think knight takes d2 was the right decision. From a human perspective, this is what I should have played. This was good. This was very good. And yeah, this whole play was very nice. Except for my plan to play rook c1, which wouldn't have been good. But I hope I would have spotted d2 and calculated that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep looking for a solution then against London, and I also need the solution to be able to transpose from this position, where they play c3 here, because definitely against d4 like this, I really like to play c5, because if my opponent plays d5, then I get my Benoni, right, which I'm very happy to play. So I don't want to have to play something different against this d4, and c5 definitely looks to play in the right way for me. But yeah, on this c3 move, I then need to have something better. I guess I can play the same line that my student recommended. This like e6, b6, and play with bishop b6 early. Maybe I can still make this work. Yeah, I should be able to here, right? There's no reason why I can't. So maybe on this c3 move I can try and create a setup like this, and what on the normal London as well. Then maybe I can achieve this as well. Yeah, maybe I can play in this style and play with this e6, b6, and bishop a6. Like this was a really nice line that my student showed me. I'm gonna have to look into this. But yeah, guys, this was cool. The follow alert was you. I see. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. Knight a2. There's also a cool trap here. Let me have a look. So knight f3, knight f6, d4, c5. I know this one. Yeah, I know this one. You take and then you play e5, and this is a nice trap. So actually, yeah, I would want to continue with this move order of c5 in case they play this bishop f4. This would be really nice. But then on the c3, maybe I can actually look into this e6, b6 stuff. Maybe this is good. Yeah, and e6 first, otherwise then maybe they can get like a better version of the Benoni with this d5 stuff. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna look into this. But yeah, I'm very glad that, okay, this opening at least worked for one game. Managed to get the win. I think I'm at an all-time high on my classical, 2270. And okay, we're gonna get to 2500. This is the goal. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna spend some time preparing this on my own, I think, and just take a break because I've got some chess lessons to teach in less than an hour. And I have a league match tonight as well. And actually the league match is extremely exciting because even though our team have no chance of winning the league or anything like this, and we're not like worrying about getting demoted, we're Loughborough 1. Basically, we are playing Wigston, and basically Wigston need to win or draw in order to win the league. And this will be the first time that Wigston ever win the league, because Syston always win. So basically we can ruin their celebration by beating them this evening. So they're going to be like playing their best chess, but also they're going to have all the pressure. And I think I'm on good form. I think I'm quite excited to give them a shot. So yeah, that should be good. Always rating on the line, exactly. So gotta take it somewhat seriously. But okay, this was cool, and thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for the follow, Jan. And yeah, over the board. This is over the board, so I live in Loughborough. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow for another classical game. And yeah, see you around.